One of the most important skills you'll need to learn and master when it comes to quitting porn, quitting masturbation, is the ability to relax, to bring yourself back down, to calm yourself back down. Because what happens as you progress in your streak, as you stay away from the thing, the external thing that was helping you calm down, as you cut that out of your life, energy is just going to build and build pressure and get stuck, and you're not going to know what to do with it, and it's going to feel intense. It's going to totally set you off course, and this is where the cravings will kick in, the arousal, and everything just goes into a whirlwind. And this is where most people reset, because they weren't able to bring themselves back down to earth. They weren't able to calm themselves back down. So this is a skill that must be mastered. It's missing in most of us. It's missing because we grew up depending on that for relaxation. When life got hard and stress hit and things were difficult, we were going through maybe physical pain, emotional pain, whatever the pain was, porn was there to help us relax. We don't know how to do that. Our brain hasn't had a chance to do that, to learn the skill of relaxing, of self-relaxation. What I want you to focus on is the simple process of how to relax yourself. That's what we're going to learn today. I always tell my clients we have two muscles. We have a control muscle, which is where 95% of the world operates. We're always trying to control things. We're logically trying to find solutions on Google. We're constantly looking, we're searching for control. But there's another muscle that's equally important, and that's the muscle of release, of letting go. And that's a muscle that's missing in most people, not just with porn, not just with fap, also missing with people who constantly need to do things. They're constantly distracted, they're busy, they can't just settle down and relax, right? It's actually not really necessarily a porn issue, it's like a most of society issue, so you're not alone. Porn just happened to be one of the methods that was very effective in helping you relax quickly. Start working out that relaxation, that release muscle. I want you to start with awareness. Awareness around any physical tension you might have, any emotional tension you might have, any mental tension you have. You're going to focus on those three areas and you're going to relax and just practice releasing them. And here's how you do it. You bring awareness to three areas: your physiology, your mind, and your emotions. If you can bring awareness to these three areas, you can begin the process of relaxation. So here's what I recommend you do. You simply start with dropping into your body. I know you're really excited and the cravings are really high right now, and it's just all up here. All you got to do is drop back into your body and just feel physically sensation. What that does is it puts you back into your body so that you can actually begin relaxing. And what I want you to do is find somewhere that is maybe physically tight. For me, maybe it's my chest. It's a little bit tight. So what I'm going to do, actually, right now, my shoulders are tight. So what I'm going to do is I through body scanning, I was able to feel a bit of tightness there. So I'm just going to practice relaxing them, just relaxing the shoulders. That's all you have to do. What I want to do next is check in with my mind. So what will often happen is I'm thinking about something and I'm obsessing about something, and it's usually probably about a woman or a scene or something like that. I want to practice identifying that by bringing awareness that I'm doing it, and then I want to simply practice letting it go. Just release it, let it go. And one way to do that is to actually focus on something else. You can just redirect your focus. What I like to do is to focus on my breath, so I just take a couple of deep breaths. And what I feel when I take a breath, I feel wind hitting my nostrils, and as soon as I feel and change my focus to how it feels to breathe and the air hitting my nostrils, I immediately stop thinking about that thing. So in a way, I kind of just release that thought. And now my mind's going to go back to that thought, and that's totally okay, because this is a skill that we're developing, we're practicing, and as we get better, you just get really good at letting go of thoughts. No, you're no longer a prisoner of thoughts. The last part is emotional. It's a little bit tougher. Sometimes it's even tied in with mental. I just got off a call with a client, and he was telling me that it was nighttime, he couldn't fall asleep, and he spent an hour investigating and doing awareness scanning to figure out why, what was keeping him up at night. And it turned out he was having a thought about some kind of fight with his partner or something like that. It took him an hour to realize that. That created this anger emotion inside him that he was holding on to, but he wasn't able to even identify that it was anger. He had to go through this process of investigating. Dr. Gabor Mate calls it compassionate inquiry. It's when you slowly peel the layers away to discover what's the root of it. And most of us don't spend time doing that process. Most of us just turn to porn and quickly get a immediate release and relax and then just pass out, right? So when you're on a streak, you can't do that. So this is why all these tools and skills, which you should have learned when you were a kid, now come into play. We're learning them now as adults, and that's totally fine. It comes quickly. It's quite natural for humans, so it's not like you got to spend a year doing this. Practice it every night for a minimum of 2 minutes. Roughly 1 hour is probably what it'll realistically take, but that's okay. Nighttime's a good time to practice this because nighttime and trying to sleep is a big trigger for a lot of men, where that's when you are feeling the most anxiety, the most tension, the height of it all, and you just want to relax so bad, and the only way you know how to relax so you go to sleep so you don't have to be tired the next day is to watch porn and masturbate. Then you release, then you go to sleep. We can't use that tool anymore, so we got to learn this, right? So awareness around your physiology, release, relax. Learn to just practice relaxing. Awareness around what's going on in your mind. Identify it. Relax. Let it go. Or switch the focus to breathing. The third is peel back the layers and figure out and feel where you're tense emotionally. Are you angry about something? Practice relaxing and letting it go. Just relax. Let it go. And that's it. Use that. Practice that actively. The more you practice this, the more natural it'll become. And then eventually it's really automatic. When you're doing this, focus on the 3 areas. Relaxing physically, relaxing mentally, relaxing emotionally. Keep coming back to those 3. It's always one of those 3 that's really keeping you frustrated. If you succeed in this and you get good at this, you'll be able to go from a 10 out of 10 arousal, where you feel like the only way to ever get through this is to watch porn and vap. You go from a 10 out of 10 excitement, like holy smokes, I'm all the way up here, need to relax, and then you're going to calm yourself down. You're going to use these strategies to pull yourself back down to maybe a 5 out of 10 arousal or excitement. And then maybe if you do it more and more, and an hour later, you're at a 2 out of 10. So you've really just learned the skill of relaxing and letting go. And if you master this, amongst all the other tools I teach, and sometimes they all go together, like no arousal helps with letting go mentally. There's so much that goes into it, but this is the one area that if you start with this, you'll always be able to take yourself out from a 10 back down to a 1 or a 0, and you'll feel amazing. It's super important, critical. So this is the skill. What I'm going to do is I'm going to break this down. I'm going to share a little bit more below in the description. I'm even going to give you a case study of when I was triggered one night. It was like really difficult to get through. I was triggered, on a streak, can't release. What did I do? I used these techniques and I lay it down exactly how I did it, word for word. I go through every step of what I did to relax myself back down from a 10 out of 10, super aroused, all the way down to a 1. And then I passed out like a baby. The next day I woke up, I had no cravings. See how important this is? If you struggle from cravings, you struggle from not being at you pent up pressure, and you can't beat your streak, you can't go further, it's because you just haven't gotten better at the art of calming yourself down, relaxing, and naturally letting go of that tension, that energy. So I hope this was helpful. Check out the description below for more details about that exact case study of how I use this. And at the end of that, I'll also have kind of a bit of a step-by-step process of what you can practice if this still sounds a little bit, like too many steps. It shouldn't be. It's really easy. Awareness, release. Awareness, release. Physical awareness, release. Mental awareness, release. Emotional awareness, release. All right? By the end of this, you're going to be great at release. You'll have an equal amount of control muscle, which is amazing, and you'll have an equal amount of release muscle. These two together are going to help you crush it in life. And in this goal. So enjoy. If you have any questions, comment below.